March 28th, 1979, there was an accident at 3 Mile Island, the nuclear power plant near Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. I was in high school at the time, an 11th grader at Lower Marion High School in Ardmore, Pennsylvania, a town just outside Philadelphia city limits. I was in history class when I first heard about it, Mr. Loudon's. I'd overheard students talking in the halls, and by the time I got to his classroom, it was all anyone was talking about. Rumors were flying. We thought we were going to die that day. We thought there was going to be an explosion by the end of the day and that we were all doomed. If we did survive the day, we were doomed anyway, since all of the milk that came from out that way by Harrisburg, plus for sure the chocolate would all be poisoned. We felt scared for all of us, and worried about the governor's unborn child. Would he or she have birth defects from the radiation? Harrisburg, where he and his pregnant wife lived, with all its cows, and Hershey's chocolate factory were just right there, right by 3 Mile Island. What was to come? As a result of this event, my usually not cool mom agreed to attend protests with me. Together, we stood our ground, trying to stop the completion of Limerick, another nuclear power plant, this one just 23 miles from Philadelphia city limits, and close to where we lived. She did draw the line, though, about forbidding me to get arrested with the other nonviolent protesters. So now, thanks to her forethought, I do not have a police record. She was supportive also as I joined the Keystone Alliance, bothered neighbors to sign petitions, and she even let me attend a rally on the steps of the White House, an event where I did get heat stroke. Life lesson learned: never attend protest in excruciating heat without food and water in your system. Other than the heat stroke on the steps of the White House that my mom did not know about, this activism opened the door to a closer relationship. We bonded in our fear and our sense of civic responsibility. It was not until later on, years later in fact, that I found out about the plane tickets. My uncle and I were recently talking about that day, and he mentioned them. It turned out that while I was at school that day freaking out with my friends, my mom was at home freaking out with her brother. Together, they decided that he should buy plane tickets for my brother and I, and the plan was to ship us off to Florida to go stay with our grandparents, where we would be safe. By the time we got home, though, I guess Governor Thornburg had deemed us all safe, and our trip was canceled. I can't really explain it, but even years later, somehow, I found such preparation on their part a comfort. I still don't understand fully what happened that day at 3 Mile Island, and looking back now, as a high school teacher, I find it strange that our teachers did not talk to us about what was happening. Seems they could have given us some sort of explanation rather than leaving us to our teenage rumor mill. Perhaps they were scared too, and just did not know what to say. I do know now that, according to the Smithsonian National Museum of American History, this has been deemed America's worst accident at a civilian nuclear power plant. In my studies of their archives, I found out that during this accident, half of the fuel melted in one of the two nuclear reactors on 3 Mile Island. It was not until recently, though, thanks to advances in technology, that the full extent of the damage was revealed. Much radioactivity did leak from the reactor, although it is believed that much of it was contained. And while it seems that no one received harmful amounts of radiation, and like I said, I still do not completely understand what happened on that day, when it comes to nuclear power, I know that I'm afraid of it.